Hello everyone. So today, the end of the biggest day in British history so far, I think, the EU referendum. We have decided as a public to vote out of the EU, and I just wanted to give my opinions on that. So obviously the vote came in this morning. I was extremely shocked, to be honest, that this is the way we voted, but this is how things go sometimes. I personally voted to remain, but to a 52 to 48% vote, we voted to leave, and we saw straight away the impacts of this vote. The pound dropped dramatically against the dollar, against the euro. The FTSE 100 dropped dramatically at the start, 11%. These things did sort of steady themselves, but they're still dropped, and I think they will remain dropped for quite a while. I don't think they'll ever get back to what they were originally, but they should hopefully get back up to a stable state so we can really sort ourselves out. Another thing that happened after the result is obviously our Prime Minister, David Cameron, has resigned, not with immediate effect, but he has resigned as Prime Minister. I think that's unfortunate. I think despite all their flaws, politicians, Mr. Cameron was a pretty decent guy. So they will have a election to elect the new Prime Minister, the new leader of the Conservative Party. At the moment, that looks like a two-horse race between Theresa May, who was a Remain campaigner, so we'll find it very difficult to actually get in after we voted to leave. And the other one is Boris Johnson. Yeah, he was a main figure in the Leave campaign. So personally, I think it would be Boris Johnson that gets in. And I don't think that's good for this country at all, unfortunately. I don't think he's a very good politician. I don't think he's a very good man. I think the only thing he's got going for him is that he's funny. But you want a comedian running your country? In a year's time, we could have Boris Johnson as the UK Prime Minister and Donald Trump as the US President. That's pretty telling times. But overall, there's obviously this petition to call for a recount because there was pencils, la-di-la-di-la. I don't think any of that matters. None of that's going to actually happen. We collectively has decided to leave. I did speak to a lot of people on Twitter in person during the day, and quite a lot of the Leave voters actually have said, "Oh, I don't really know what I was doing. I just voted for it because, well, they didn't really know why they voted for it. And now they've seen what's happened, they regret their vote. But what's done is done. We shall try to continue." I'm still a bit gobsmacked by the whole thing, to be honest, but I'm sure we will press on and keep going. We'll only be able to tell in time what actual implications this has. Obviously, the financial implications at the moment are terrible. Interest rates are sure to go up eventually to try and stabilise us. When we do eventually leave, you're going to see increases in prices in the shops, etc. But only time will tell. They need to organise the exit still. They need to negotiate. There's a lot of news still to come. This is only the beginning of what's going to happen, and hopefully we get the right person in to negotiate this leave to try and get the best deal for the UK. It's looking likely that Scotland will have a second independence referendum, and if they do, that will probably be Scotland independent going into the EU on their own. Obviously, Northern Ireland voted to remain as well. There is a possibility, there's been some talk that Northern Ireland may try and unify with the Republic of Ireland. So that would just leave England and Wales as leavers. So the United Kingdom will not be so united anymore, which is a shame, but a big piece in history. I'm sure you were glad to take part of it. It did feel like your vote counted this time. I felt like mine counted, even though I did vote Remain. It was very close. And I just want to know your thoughts, really. How do you feel at the moment? Was you a Leaver or was you a Remainer? How do you feel? How do you think the vote will affect you personally? And just stay tuned for more news on this. There'll be much more news in the coming weeks, months, and even years about us leaving the EU. So take it easy, guys, and hopefully we'll be alright. Thanks.